Welcome back to Reading Sonic. This is the second issue of Archie Sonic the Hedgehog Mini-Series, issue number 1. Yeah, I still find it really confusing that the first one was issue number 0. I still don't get why that's a thing. We learned last time that Dr. Robotnik has taken over the world of Mobius, and is turning the inhabitants into robots who do his bidding. One of the very few places that are safe from Dr. Robotnik is the Great Forest, where Sonic the Hedgehog and his freedom fighters reside in. We learn in this issue that Sonic's home city was known as Mobotropolis, before Dr. Robotnik took it over and changed it to Robotropolis. I was wondering if we'd ever learn the city's original name. Well, now we know. We start our story seeing Sonic and Tails running through the Great Forest together. Sonic then gets distracted by Sally, who has black hair now. Maybe the pilot of Sad AM came out, and they're trying to get the comic to be more in line with it. Or the beta design progressed further. I wonder if they're going to acknowledge it at some point. Considering how the first issue was written, it totally will be. When Sonic catches up to Sally, she says that she has no time to stay and chat. Sonic realizes that she's heading near the edge of the forest, and says that it's none of his business, but she's walking too close to the edge of the Great Forest. Sally retorts by saying Sonic is right. It is none of his business, and storms off. Sonic and Tails head back to Knothole to find out if something happened with her. As they're jumping into the entrance, they collide with Antoine, who's coming out. Antoine has Sally's royal proclamation. She's going to meet with Dr. Robotnik to negotiate the return of her father. She orders that no one must interfere with her plan. This is clearly a bad idea. Either Sally is really naive, or she has a plan of some sort. If she does have a plan, she should make sure that the other freedom fighters are aware of it. Obviously, Sonic doesn't trust Robotnik at all, and drags Antoine and Tails to stop her. They find Sally speaking with a buzz bomber, but Sonic thinks it's about to attack her, and tries to attack it first, but is stopped by Sally. Sally explains that she was meeting with the buzz bomber so it could take her to Robotnik to negotiate. Sonic, Antoine, and Tails try to convince Sally otherwise, but Sally just shrugs them off, saying that she will be fine. Unfortunately for her, Sonic and the others think Robotnik got her fooled. Buzz Bomber brings Sally to Robotnik Inc. and drops her through a smokestack, which leads her directly to Robotnik. Sally says that this wasn't part of the deal. Robotnik retorts by saying machines can't make or break promises. So, Robotnik is a completely mechanical being. Now that I look at him, he seems to be a cyborg. He even has those Frankenstein bolts in his head. Robotnik orders the SWAT bots to take Sally to the Robo-Machine. The Robo-Machine turns organic beings into robots. It was made in Robotropolis, but assembled in Mexico. Wait, there's a Mexico? In Mobius. So what are you telling me? Mobius is just Earth, but in the future, and some animals evolved into furries? Wait a minute, what's the ratio between humans and furries in Mobius? I'm actually curious about this. Are there other humans? We haven't seen any yet, we've seen just furry creatures. We've seen already a bit that Archie Sonic doesn't do throwaway lines. At least none that I've seen yet. So there's a possibility that Mobius is Earth, but in the future. Maybe like far future. Anyway, Sonic goes through the wall to save Sally. As Antoine and Tails appear too, Sally is distraught by this. Sally asks Antoine if Boomer showed them the proclamation, which Antoine says yes, which is why they're here to begin with. Sonic destroys the Robo-Machine and leaves with Sally. When they return to Knothole, Boomer asks Sally if everything went according to plan. Sally responds by telling him everything that could go wrong did go wrong. She didn't want to be saved. She had a plan. Boomer designed special boots that have hidden cameras, recorders, and computerized jamming devices. The idea was to get the boots into the Robo-Machine so it could be used to analyze and figure out a way to reverse its effects. Sally says if they'd listened to her order, Uncle Chuck and everybody in Mobius could have been saved. Yeah, this was on Sally. Is there a reason not to sit everyone down and tell them what the plan was going to be? She just told Sonic to mind his own business regarding a mission that could have saved Uncle Chuck. This was really bad on Sally's part. Honestly, I didn't like the story. I'm sorry. I hate stories that could have been resolved by a simple communication. Maybe there's a reason why Sally acted the way she did, but I don't know what the reason is. Maybe we'll find out later. But if that's the case, this story should have happened later. Ooh, I really hope the next story is better than this one. So, let's begin the second story of the issue. Sonic is fishing at a bay. Looking closely, he doesn't seem to be at the Great Forest anymore. Wait, weren't the freedom fighters stuck there? Robotnik has spy satellites that can pick them up when they leave the forest. Like, yeah, wouldn't he know if they left? Or at least even one of them left? Okay, maybe there's more to this and it will be clarified later on. As Sonic is fishing, he succeeds at catching a fish. Unfortunately, it's one of Robotnik's badniks, Jaws, the robot fish. Jaws then starts eating Sonic's rod and then starts eating the dock itself until Sonic falls into the water, which leads to an underwater slide that leads him to a nearby underwater cave, which Jaws propels into. As Sonic gives chase using subsonic speed, which I guess is actually super speed underwater. I guess they're really going into the different speed levels, aren't they? Other than just pointing out that he's using them, I really wonder if there's any benefit of like pointing it out. Sonic is fast, so when he's swimming, he can swim fast. I don't think you need to name it. But, like I said, over and over again, I need to see how this develops. As Sonic goes after Jaws, he gets ensnared on a net. Jaws then brings Sonic to the underwater robot maker. So the case seems to be that Robotnik makes the sea life into robots too. I guess Robotnik isn't kidding. He really wants to turn everybody in the world into robots, including the fish. So clearly Jaws is gonna try to turn Sonic into a robot by putting him into the underwater robot maker. Which is just a robot maker. I don't think there's a reason to give it the alternative name. While this is happening, Boomer and Tails arrive at the dock, where Sonic was supposed to be waiting for them. However, Sonic isn't anywhere to be found. Neither is the dock. The fact that Sonic's rod is destroyed too gives Boomer a bad feeling, which leads him to go get a submarine to go see what happened to Sonic. Meanwhile, Jaws is dragging Sonic into the machine. Sonic does an underwater spin dash that destroys the net. Unfortunately, he used all of his air supply and starts to drown. Jaws tries to take advantage of this and tries to bite Sonic, but he's stopped by Boomer's submarine's torpedo. Sonic uses the bubbles from the torpedo to get some air. I know this is from the games, but I have to admit it's kinda dumb. But you kinda have to tie in the game somehow. Anyway, once Sonic gets some air, he does another spin dash and destroys the robot maker. Then the trio return to the surface and celebrate. I have to admit, I don't have much to say about this story. It's there. I don't dislike it, but I don't like it either. I really hope Archie Sonic gets good quickly, because really, at this point, I'm not really enjoying it. It's just, but again, it's the very, very beginning, so I can't just expect things to change overnight. But still, I really have nothing to say about this story. But hopefully next time, in issue number 2, it'll get a lot more interesting. Hopefully we get other game mechanics as story points. See you then.